Welcome back to the Tropical Update. It's Monday, September 25th. I'm Tom. I'll be guiding you through the graphics. We're going to be talking about Hurricane Maria that's moving north and will get pretty close to the Outer Banks of North Carolina. We'll also be talking about Hurricane Lee that's out in the Atlantic and see where it's going to be going in the next couple days. First up, let's pull up our 5-day cone for Maria. And looking at that, they expect it to come pretty close to the Outer Banks, and that'll be late on Tuesday. And then it's going to make a right-hand turn. In looking at the end of the cone, which is Friday, they still show Maria to be a hurricane at that time. So it's going to stay a hurricane at least till Friday. And here is 11 p.m. data. It was 385 miles south-southeast of Cape Hatteras, North Carolina. Winds are 90 miles an hour. Central pressure is 950 millibars and is moving north at 8 miles an hour. Looking at that pressure, that well could be a hurricane that has 115 to 135 or 130 mile an hour winds. But since Maria is going over water that's been churned up by Jose, the water is much cooler and it's not able to intensify even though it has that low of a central pressure. Now this is the wind history. The orange area is the tropical force winds, and the red area is the hurricane force winds. And if you just sort of move that north, you can see that the Outer Banks will probably be in the tropical force wind area. And this is the earliest arrival time for tropical force winds. This is a little bit quick. They're expecting Maria to slow down a little bit, so it's probably going to be sometime on Tuesday before they really start getting tropical force winds, sometime either Tuesday morning or afternoon, depends on the speed. And now let's look at our spaghetti models, and they are trending pretty much what they've been for the last couple days. One of the more reliable tracks has it a little bit more west, but there's always a wobble in these tracks, either east or west. Next up, this is something I did, and this actually shows you a 240 mile, that's the red ring, and that is about what the tropical force winds are reaching out from the center. So very much the Outer Banks and parts of North Carolina coast could get those tropical force winds, and as I said, that'll be probably sometime on Tuesday. Now what about rain? This is through Friday. It's not going to be a big rainmaker, especially for North Carolina coast. Yeah, they could get 2 to 5 inches of rain, and locally maybe a little bit higher, but it's not. Most of all the heavy rain is going to be staying offshore with Maria. And here is a picture of Maria. Looks so-so. It's not been very great all day long. This one actually looks a little better. It's starting to get some convection back around the center, but it's going through those cooler waters that Jose churned up. Now here is Lee. Lee is not going to be any type of a problem other than shipping. So it's actually going to probably around Thursday or before is going to just become a tropical storm and depression. So we're not going to be worried about Lee in the future. Now let's look at our beach report, and it's in the red, which means there are rip currents and very high surf. So it's advisable not to go into the water even if you're a good swimmer. because of the rip currents, and there will be some pretty good sized waves coming up. We don't have our UV index tonight graphic, but we have something new, and that is space weather. And there is a G1, which is a minor geomagnetic storm watch, and that's in effect for the 27th of September. And if you're lucky enough to be where that green line is, which is through Minnesota, North Dakota, and that area, you probably will, on the 27th, you'll probably have a very nice northern lights. So just wanted to show you about that. Well, thank you all for tuning in. Appreciate all the subscribers. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the like button. And also, we'll be watching if the models change any on Maria. They're not expecting it to, and if they do, we'll get right back on here and post them. Well, till next time, again, thank you for tuning in, and have a great day.